Have you ever wondered when watching the WNBA draft? You watch the draft and you're all excited about the players that got drafted. And you're like, yes, I watched that player in college. They were so fantastic. I love it. They went to this team and hopefully there's going to be a bright future for them in the WNBA. Only to wait maybe a month, maybe two, and be like, wait, what happened to that player? What happened to her? She was drafted. She was all excited. We were all excited for her. And now she has disappeared. Seriously. A player plays well in college. They get drafted in April to the WNBA. They show up to training camp. They show up in a tweet or two from the team that drafted them. And then all of a sudden, they're gone. Poof. No real updates besides the fact that XYZ player just got cut. That's it. And we don't really hear much about them until the following year when they make another practice or another training camp roster or something else. Or maybe we hear that, oh, eventually they signed overseas and they did something. But there's not much action for them in the United States. And this is a part of the women's basketball story that just doesn't get told enough. Where in the world do these players go in the U.S. after they get cut? Because a thing to remember, guys, is that the WNBA is brutal, right? There is 156 maximum spots. 12 players on each roster at a maximum, 13 teams. That's it. And this year, the list of players who got squeezed out of the WNBA is large, meaning brand new players who just graduated college and was trying to make their WNBA career start, as well as veterans of the WNBA who came into this season teamless. But here's the thing. That is not the end of the story. Just because a player is not on a WNBA roster, that's not the end. Especially now because there is a new league that is quietly becoming the next chapter for a lot of these players. It is called the 3XBA, and it very well might be the most important women's basketball league that you have not heard about. So in this stream, we're going to talk about the 3XBA. We're going to talk about what it means, the pathway back to the WNBA for some of these players, or a pathway straight to the Olympics, should they choose so. So, you may be wondering, okay, 3XBA, I've never heard of that. What in the world is the 3XBA? Well, the 3XBA is a 3-on-3, 3x3 basketball association, and it is the first and only women's pro FIBA 3x3 league in the United States. The thing about this league is that it's a fast league, right? It's Olympic rules. It's 10-minute quarters, or 10-minute games, I should say, right? 12-second shot clock. We got half-court play, official Olympic format. And the season is played over the summer months that coincides with well-established international women's FIBA season. So, yeah, this is like an official thing. Now, this is not backyard basketball. This is not pickup basketball. This is real, regulated, internationally recognized and sanctioned competition. It was founded by 3 people, Alana McDonald, Arlen Hamilton, and Holly Anderson Levlow. And the 3XBA is trying to build something that the WNBA can't do, providing players with a summer league that gives a clear developmental path. You can go 2 routes. You can go the route of the global pipeline to Olympic play, meaning being able to qualify for 3x3 in the Olympics, or you can just use this as an opportunity to just get better and better, so that way when your number and your name is called in the WNBA, you'll be ready. And honestly, guys, the timing of this league couldn't be better. It really couldn't be. And we look at why players are joining. Well, the reason why they're joining, and I'm going to talk about some of the players who are in this league, but the reason why players are joining is because it's an opportunity. Because WNBA training camp is a bloodbath of sorts, right? Every year, promising draft prospects, they get drafted. Some of them are NCAA champions. We got others who are WNBA veterans who are not on a team but signed a training camp contract. They get cut in training camp. Not because they can't play, but because there's just not enough room in the WNBA. Again, there is 156 maximum spots, but in reality, it's less than that. And now some of these players are turning to the XBA because the WNBA does not have a developmental league, right? The NBA and the G League gives so many spots potential for players. So many spots. But in the WNBA, it doesn't have that. So the 3XBA is trying to sort of bridge that gap. And also, guys, if y'all are rocking with this, make sure to hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button as well. I know that sometimes, this is not a clickbaity topic. This is not a sensational topic. So less people are going to watch. However, for those who are watching, make sure to tell a neighbor and tell a friend that we are online. We are doing this and we're giving people some real information. Okay. All right. And also, if you all have any questions, save your questions for the end, and I'll try to get to some of your questions about the 3XBA. All right, so who in the world is participating in this thing? Well, there's a lot of names that you all probably know. Names like Harmony Turner. Harmony Turner has signed with the 3XBA. She was drafted by the Las Vegas Aces this past WNBA draft. She also does have FIBA 3x3 experience. She participated in the FIBA 3x3 U23 World Cup team, where they won the gold medal. So that's kind of cool. She also is someone who has racked up in terms of accolades. She was the Becky Hammond Mid-Major Award winner, Player of the Year, right? She was the Ivy League Player of the Year this past season. And this past season, she was #1 in scoring, field goal percentage, and steals in the Ivy League. So big deal. Harmony Turner is now going to be playing for the 3XBA. Next up, let's talk about Madison Scott, another player who was drafted in 2023 by the WNBA. She was drafted by the Dallas Wings. Number 14 overall pick. She is someone who had a illustrious career at Ole Miss. First team All-SEC, 2-time SEC Defensive Player of the Year. And she does have 3x3 experience. She previously played in the USA 3x3 Women's Series. Next up, let's talk about Serena Sundell. She's another player who was drafted in the 2025 WNBA Draft. She was drafted by the Seattle Storm. And she also has experience with 3x3 as well. She played in the USA Basketball 3x3 nationals team in 2022, right? She had a great career with the K-State Wildcats, and with the Wildcats, she was doing her thing. 2-time All Big 12, I should say, first team player. She is someone who finished her career with 1,500 points at K-State. She is the all-time assist leader at K-State. And now she's going to be continuing her pro career in the U.S. with the 3XBA. Next up, let's talk about Zay Green. Zay Green had a great HBCU career and then went over to Alabama. She was ultimately drafted this past couple months ago to the Washington Mystics. She led Alabama in total scoring this past season. She also was a big assist leader for this team and had been rocking and rolling with with Alabama, I should say. And now she is also with the 3XBA. Next up, let's talk about Kaitlyn Chen. Kaitlyn Chen, KC. She was a huge, big-time Ivy League player at Princeton before transferring over to UConn, where she finished off her college career. She was drafted by the Golden State Valkyries in this past WNBA draft, and she did her thing in college, right? She was a starter on UConn's championship team. She was a 3-time Ivy League regular season and tournament champion. She was the Ivy League Player of the Year in 2023. She was a 3-time Ivy League tournament MVP. Basically, she was a baller. Went over to UConn, did her thing, got drafted into the WNBA. Ultimately, as with all of these other players, got cut. And now she is continuing her U.S. pro career with the 3XBA. Next up, let's talk about Shyanne Sellers. Shyanne Sellers had a fantastic career with Maryland, was ultimately drafted in this past WNBA draft to the Golden State Valkyries, ultimately got cut, got picked up, and then ultimately got cut again. And she is trying to figure out what's next for her. There's some concern about her possibly still being injured. However, she's playing in 3XBA, and she's going to show us what she can do. She also has a substantial amount of 3x3 experience as well. And also, fun fact, did you know that Shyanne Sellers is the first player in Maryland history to have 1,500 points, 500 rebounds, 500 assists in her career. She's a 3-time first team All Big Ten player. All right, next up, let's talk about Aranette Vonleh. She was also drafted to the WNBA this past year, drafted to the Dallas Wings. This is someone who had an illustrious career, at Colorado and then ultimately at Baylor. She was the Big 12 Newcomer of the Year winner in 2024. This is someone who, when she was with the Pac-12, was an all-conference player. And Arinette Valet is trying to see what she could do with 3x3. Now let's move on to someone who had been in the league for a while and now is out of the league, and that's Grace Berger. Grace Berger was someone who was drafted by the Indiana Fever several years ago. I believe she was the number 7 pick, I believe. Played with the Indiana Fever, then ended up signing a training camp contract with the Minnesota Lynx. This past offseason, she ultimately did not make the cut for the roster, and she is now going to be doing 3x3. And so we'll see what she can do on that front. She's won a ton of accolades, 4-time first-team All-Big Ten player. This is someone who has international experience, but not from a 3x3 perspective. And so that's kind of cool that she's going to have that opportunity. And 3 more actually I want to talk about real quick. Mackenzie Holmes, another player she was drafted in 2024, ultimately got waived this training camp by the Seattle Storm. This is someone who was a big freaking deal in college. 4-time, I should say, all Big Ten defensive player. And she was someone who was a 4-time All Big Ten first team player. She was a finalist for a whole bunch of awards, was a Wooden Award finalist and All-American in 2023. Mackenzie Holmes was fan-freaking-tastic. Now she is doing 3x3. And we got 2, we're going to leave off with 2 Gamecocks. First up, we have Destiny Henderson, who has been with a bunch of teams in the WNBA so far. She was drafted by the Indiana Fever, then was with the Atlanta Dream, LA Sparks, Phoenix Mercury. She's been all over the place in terms of her WNBA career so far, and she is still trying to find a place to ultimately be. And finally, we got Brie Hall. Brie Hall was also selected by the Indiana Fever in 2015, and she is a 2-time national championship player. She is someone who is a fan-freaking-tastic defender. She is also someone who can spot up and shoot, but she has, as with all these other players, found her way out of the league, and she's trying to figure out a way to get back in the league, and also trying to get some international experience as well, which is probably why she's doing the 3XBA. So I've gone through that list, and you all may be like, okay, what does all this mean? Because these players, they're not going overseas just yet right now. They are staying closer to home. They're playing the 3XBA. They're keeping their names in the conversation. But in today's ecosystem, some of y'all probably didn't even know this existed. Some of y'all probably had no idea that some of these players were still playing pro basketball in the U.S. Some of y'all are probably like, what? I forgot all about XYZ player. And honestly, I'm not surprised by that. The reason why is because, the 3XBA, while it's a thing, while it's giving opportunity for these players, it hasn't gotten much publicity, I should say. But the thing that I want to talk about this because I think it's important. Because the 3XBA does have a connection to the Olympics. Because this is not just a thing to do to stay in shape for these players, to keep busy. This is a legitimate pathway to the Olympics. FIBA's 3x3 format is official, and it has its own ranking system. So if you want to play for Team USA in the Olympics, you need FIBA points. And those points come from sanctioned 3x3 events, which makes the 3XBA so important. Because yes, we have the new league Unrivaled, which also has a 3-on-3 format. However, that's full court, a smaller court that has its own rules and all that stuff. And it has nothing to really do with FIBA. And the difference is that when players are participating in the 3XBA, they are following official FIBA rules. So that means that players are building resumes that count, not just for the WNBA, but for the Olympics. Because if you all know, if you all remember in Paris, some of y'all were like, how did these players on Team USA, some of y'all was like, how in the world did these players make the Team USA 3x3 team. Points, 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 points. That's how. All right? That's how Sierra Burdick has been in the 3x3 space for so long and has played at the highest levels. Points. That's the blueprint. And for the U.S. women's basketball ecosystem, they're starting to realize that, hey, if I want to play in the Olympics, if I want to play on the biggest of scales, I need to be associated with FIBA when it comes to 3x3. And the 3xBA is an opportunity to do that. So, yeah, I think it's kind of cool. So, here's the maybe frustrating part. Maybe you all are like, oh, this is kind of cool. Olympic implications, pro-level talent, shouldn't we be seeing this everywhere? Why haven't I heard about this? But for the most part, let me know in the comments if y'all were even aware of this thing existing, because I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all were not aware of this. And most of the awareness right now of this league is coming directly from the league itself and the players who are now getting signed. And it's a huge silence from major media outlets. Not much has been written about this new league and these players who are finding themselves playing in this league. And to me, that's a bit of a disconnect, right? Because we all say we want more opportunities for players who don't make the WNBA. We say we want to support these ladies. We want to watch them. We want to see where their career goes. But then when they make other moves, when they get signed to other things, we don't even know it exists. And so that's why I wanted to specifically have a segment on this, because I know this is not going to get a lot of attention. The numbers are not going to be very high for this thing. However, I want to talk about it because I think it's important. And I think it's important for us as basketball fans, not just to pay attention to just the WNBA during this time. Because the WNBA is not the only thing that exists right now. We also have other opportunities for WNBA and former WNBA players. All right. And it is one of those things is the 3xBA. There are other opportunities in like semi-pro and whatnot for women's basketball players as well. And on this channel, we will be going through all of them. Okay. We will be going through all of the various leagues and opportunities. All right, so make sure to, if y'all want to hear more, not just about the 3xBA, but about other stuff as well, subscribe. Rock with your girl, because we're not just doing this clickbait stuff. We're not just doing stuff that doesn't matter. We're telling you all stuff that is actually important. Okay. All right. So let's say you're interested. You're like, yes, I want to watch the 3xBA. I want to watch these players. I want to see what they do. Well, here's what you all need to know. The players that I just mentioned and also some players that I did not mention are participating in the Spokane Hoopfest. All right, this happens between June the 27th and June the 28th, and it is a pro women's FIBA 3x3 tournament at the largest 3x3 basketball event in the world. Hoopfest has a lot of players who participate in it. It's around it's a lot of people who participate in this thing. They're playing on thousands of teams, literally playing on hundreds of basketball courts during that time. And Hoopfest spans a whole bunch of blocks in Spokane. It is a community event that yes, is basketball, but also it's like a festival as well. It's like a basketball festival, which is kind of cool. And for the 3xBA, they will be at Hoopfest and they will feature 32 players, women's basketball players. All right. Some are former college stars. Some are former WNBA players. Some are players who maybe made a training camp roster, but did not ultimately make a WNBA team. But these are good players. These are good players, that are participating in the 3xBA, and they're going to be competing in this tournament. And this tournament is going to serve as a FIBA 3x3 Women's Series qualifier, which means that the winning roster will earn a bid to the Edmonton stop of the FIBA 3x3 Women's Series that is happening on August the 1st and the 2nd. Now, yeah, that's something you all need to know. If you all want to actually go to Spokane and watch this, from what I understand, the 3xBA will actually take place on Center Court, and it will be televised and live streamed. Now, the places where it will be televised and live streamed, I don't know where it's going to be televised. However, it will likely be live streamed on a 3XBA platform. So if you want to go to it, you can. But if you also want to watch it on TV and also stream it, you can do that as well. So times are changing. Times are changing, guys. The WNBA is growing. The fan base is growing. The talent pool is overflowing. And if we want to meet the moment, if we want to give these ladies the platform and opportunities that they deserve, well, we need to stop waiting for the perfect solution. And we need to start supporting the ones that are already here. Because the 3XBA is not just a side hustle thing for some of these players. It can be a bridge. It can be a proving ground. It can be a launch pad to something bigger. And for some, it is the road to the WNBA. For others, it is the road to the Olympics. And for all of us, it is a reminder that women's basketball does not end when a player gets waived for the WNBA. They have a long journey that does not stop at roster cuts. And the game is so much bigger than just the WNBA. So let me ask you, have you ever heard about the 3XBA? Do you believe that the 3XBA could be a great opportunity and a great bridge for players to possibly get back in the WNBA and sort of keep up their skills? Do you think that this could be a great opportunity for players to possibly get in the Olympics? I'm curious to hear what you all have to say. Will you be tuning in? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, let me know what you all thought of this segment. Again, it's not super, super flashy, but it is a topic that I actually think is super important. I think it's very, very important. She says, FIBA 3x3 is free to watch in most parts of the world. FIBA does YouTube Live for most 3x3 tournaments. They do. Shamika says, Quita, when you have more details about times and where to watch, please update us. I will. Yeah, I will. Nancy said, never heard of this new group or league. Well, now you know, because it's Mike's Super Short Show. Does anyone know that? Anyone? I think that was on Disney Channel when I was younger. Like, it would be like these little small segment things. Mike's Super Short Show. Anyway. Kristen says, love the segment. Thank you. I'm happy that you all are interested in this. Kentucky Rick says, FIBA style 3x3 is not just for me. I tried watching throughout the Olympics. Fair enough. Mando says, are the 3x3 players still available for the WNBA this year? I mean, if a team wants to sign them, yeah. If a team wants to sign them. So we will see what happens. Rotu says, good opportunity for players. Glad you are sharing this info. I didn't know about it and will do some research and watch it. I love the game so much. Some more opportunity to watch basketball. Yeah. Oh, Tisha knows Mike's Super Short Show. Okay. So some of y'all do know it. All right. Well, that is that segment. So again, guys, as we do this show, again, a huge part of what I want to do is highlight stuff that people are not talking about. Highlight stuff that matters that people are not talking about. Because there's more than just the WNBA happening right now. There's more than just college basketball. There's other leagues. There's other opportunities. There's other things that are happening in the space of women's basketball. And I think it's important for us to talk about it. It's important for us to talk about it.